Hey, it's Shauna. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. This week, I'd like to do a little bit more of a deep dive into elevating your mediumship. I did a post last week, and I have had so many comments and so many people reaching out to me. And now you may have a beautiful connection with your loved ones on the other side. You may have incorporated spirit communication into the work that you're already doing. You may be like me. You may be full-blown mediumship and you're offering readings and you're giving lives and you're just wondering how to take things to another level. I have probably had about 15 to 20 mediums reach out to me in the last little while because there are some words that are floating around, especially on certain platforms like on TikTok, that you're an evidentiary medium, that you have to do it a certain way, that you have to do it like this, you have to do it like that. And I always tell people, throw any sort of have to, should, need to, throw any of that kind of shit in the garbage. It's just garbage. From my perspective, and now I've seen spirit my entire life. I called them the see-through people as a little girl. I have met people over the last 20 years since I've professionally been reading for people who have such incredible gifts and capacities that awoke one day, near-death experiences. Maybe there was an accident, there was a trauma, they were sick. So this isn't something that you have to be born with. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the first thing I want to talk about is how things get confused. Okay, so there's psychic energy and then there's spirit energy, two completely different worlds. So there are very few psychics that I've met over the years who are actually mediums as well. Every single medium that I've connected with has both. Okay, so the way that I receive information from the spirit world, I call them my spiritual gifts. That's just what I call them. Okay. So my spiritual gifts, and everyone has these gifts. It just depends on how open and available you are. It depends on, your upbringing, if you have a religious belief system, if anyone showed you, if it was too scary, whatever it is. Everyone has a sixth sense. Everyone has spidey senses. Everyone has an intuition. Everyone. So with our spiritual gifts, I'm going to call them, we can see spirit, that's clairvoyant. We can hear spirit, that's clairaudient. We know spirit energy, that's claircognizance. And clairsentience is we feel spirit. We can also smell and taste spirit energy, clairaugusta and clairaudience. Those ones aren't as common, but I'm hearing more and more people have those abilities as well. We can also telepathically communicate. Okay, it's very similar to claircognizance, but we won't go too deep into that for our discussion for today. So when I'm connecting in, utilizing what I call my spiritual gifts, or you can call them abilities, whatever you want to call them, it's the way that I'm interpreting and receiving spirit energy. So if I'm connecting into Mary Jane, and I'm connecting in psychically, and the best analogy my guides gave me over the years is, back when there was a phone operator and she would say, just a moment, I'll connect you. And she would unplug one and plug it in somewhere else. That's kind of what I want you to think of. So psychically, if I'm connecting into Mary Jane's energy, I can pick up on her world, past, present, and future based on her choices. That's psychic. Mediumship, I can connect into Mary Jane's grandmother on the other side. So again, I'm going to connect into a totally different energy. I'm connecting into Mary Jane's grandmother's energy. So I just want people to have an understanding. I'm not psychically connecting into loved ones on the other side. They're two distinctly different things. They're different universes. Think of it that way. Okay. So a lot of people are getting that confused. So that's the basic foundational piece that I teach. And yes, I have been reading professionally for 20 years. I've read for hundreds of thousands. I don't even know the number at this point. I have a private practice. I have coaching clients. I work one-on-one with people. I mentor people. We've got the podcast. I'm a digital creator. I teach, I speak, I present. There's so many different avenues that this beautiful, beautiful gift, from my perspective, from God, this beautiful gift allows me to experience and share with the world. Okay. So that's the first part I like to talk about, because a lot of people are confused. Like, I'm not psychically connecting in. I am utilizing my spiritual gifts and capacities that allow me to plug into the spirit world. Totally different, totally different, totally different. I always tell people, take what resonates, leave the rest. If there's something that I say and it goes against what feels good for you, forget it, drop it. Okay. Do not try to bend and shape shift yourself to make it fit into something that I say. Okay. Do not do that. The other thing that I want to talk about today is, there are words floating around, especially on TikTok. The people are calling themselves evidentiary mediums. You have to give evidence, you have to give fact. And it's just such a gross energy, such a gross energy. Mediumship is a validation of life after death. Mediumship is a validation that love never dies. Mediumship is a validation that your loved ones are at peace and happy on the other side, and they're still very much a part of your world. They just no longer have their physical body. So, of course, to me, it's redundant. To me, it's ego. I'm giving evidence. And I have to do it. I have to do it a certain way. I always tell people, I'm more like Alison Dubois from the TV show The Medium. Who do you want to talk to? My mom. Okay, bring mom forward. Let's go. It's how I operate. Everyone channels differently. Everyone does this differently. If you ever come across a medium who says you have to do it this way, you have to get this information, the person cannot say anything. Again, check in with what feels good for you. That all feels really gross to me. It just feels really gross to me. And so, of course, we want to give validation. You're going to know exactly who I'm talking to. I find some people come into the readings with me thinking I'm going to read like Teresa Caputo, or I'm going to read like Tyler Henry, or I'm going to read like Matt Frazier. Those are my three favorites. Okay. No, I read like Shauna DeMelon. Right? There's one Teresa Caputo on the planet. I'm not trying to read like her. I think she's fabulous. I think she's amazing. Her gift runs the way it runs for her. My gift runs the way it runs for me. Your gift runs the way it runs for you. And the fun part is understanding it, unpacking it, mastering it, playing with it. Okay? So I don't have a set formula when I read for people. I ask Spirit to give me the information that they need in this moment. I ask, and people like, they come in and they'll say to me, well, who all is here? I have access to every single soul that you have connected with for your entire existence. Thousands of souls I can pull from the other side to connect with you. I don't think that's who you want. So it's like, people have this expectation that they're going to sit back and I'm going to put on this crazy show. I don't know if I should have a crystal ball or I should, have have my hair wrapped in a turban and big earrings. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, people come in with a lot of expectations. And I share that with you because if you are developing your mediumship or you're kind of getting a little bit shaky, I want you to throw that out right now. And I want you to come back to the basics of how amazing you are and how beautifully gifted you are, and come back and stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. It's like they want to prove it. You prove it to me. You prove who you're talking to. No, thanks. I don't need to prove anything. Bye. I'm not your person. Every single client I work with will know who I'm talking to. And if there is a block, if there's some sort of block, there's too much trauma, they're not available. Some people, I've had a few people lately who sneak other people into the room for their readings because they don't want to pay an extra cost. Everything is energetic and everything is within your intention. I actually rescheduled a client. I actually recently rescheduled a client because the energy was just weird and I could pick up all these other vibes and just stuff was going on. And I said to her, are you alone in the room? She says, no, my brother's sitting right there. And I said, is your brother an atheist? She goes, yeah, he wants to hear what you have to say. I said, we're done. We're done. That's just a no. So you can feel that energy coming at you, right? I trust whatever's going to come through. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth half the time. And that's what a channel is. Okay. So a lot of mediums are getting caught up in, am I giving enough? Am I saying enough? Am I doing enough? Am I doing it like that one? Stop. Stop. And it's unfortunate that there isn't more support on the TikTok platform in particular, with mediums just celebrating each other. I do it differently than you do it. And, you know, if you think of a Rubik's Cube, I may see green, you see yellow, someone else sees red. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it right. My invitation for you is to master your mediumship in a way that lights your soul on fire. Like, there are sessions that I do that I have to hold back the tears because they're so beautiful. There are sessions that I'm blessed to be a part of because they're just, the shift in people is so profound, so profound. And now this doesn't come from ego, but there's nobody on the planet that can do what I do in sessions. That doesn't come from ego, because there's no one else like me. There's no one else like you. There's no one else on the planet that can do what you do, the way that you do it. There just isn't. Okay? So this is kind of what we're talking about today. If this is something that you would like extra help with, I have my 8-week master program that's starting on April 7th. You've still got time to join us. We're going to get together. We're going to spend 8 weeks working on your mediumship. We've got group classes. There's going to be practice with other people, and you get 2 one-on-one sessions with me to work on your mediumship gifts. Okay. So if that's of interest to you, all the info is in the show notes below, or send me a message and I can get you more information. So I don't want you to feel pressure. Okay. A lot of people are sitting back going, yeah, let's see what evidence. Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you give anything other than, nice, niceties or warm and fuzzies? Okay. Warm and fuzzies are part of the session because I'm reading for someone whose heart is broken. They're grieving. The warm and fuzzies are to help them. Okay. So a lot of judgment, a lot of ego, a lot of nasty, nasty stuff I see. And I choose not to be a part of it. I stay in my lane, and I trust that the people that I'm meant to help will find me. And that's also important for you as well, just to trust and know that those people are going to find you. The more that you can be authentically you, your people will find you, right? Like, people laugh on the lives all the time because every now and again I drop an F-bomb. I just do. I just do, right? Every now and again I may say, what is that? Fuck, seriously? I just do. And if that's offensive to people, then I'm not your person. I'm okay with that. You go find who you need. I send you love. Okay. So it's understanding you don't have to do anything the way that I do it. I'm an invitation. You're like at the buffet of Shauna's world, and you get to kind of pick and choose what you would like, what works for you, what feels good for you. Okay. The other thing that I'd love to talk about a little bit with you is, and you can let me know if this resonates, because I have a lot of people that reach out to me with this happening for them. At the end of a heavier session, or maybe you're just starting out, at the end of the session with your client, you'll be thinking, did I give enough? Did I get that right? Did they get what they needed? Okay. So if you are thinking in those terms, you're making the reading about you. Okay. So the reading has nothing to do with us as the medium. A medium is literally the guy in between. Okay. I'm relaying messages through my gifts, how my gifts work. I'm relaying those messages from the other side. I'm just relaying what I'm getting. Period. It's not up to me to decipher it. It's not up to me to decide what information they can get or they can't get. I ask Spirit, give me whatever they're open and available to hearing today. What will further their healing, what will help the most in their world today. Okay. So again, I don't do cookie cutter. I never have. I tried it for a little while. I can't stand it. It's like, yeah, the Spirit will give you all that information. If you say, I want to know the gender, age when they died, what they died from, their hair color, like, you can list all of those things and Spirit will give you all of those things if that resonates for you. But who's to say that the person you're reading for gives a shit about any of that? You're making it about you. You're making it about what you think the evidence should be. That's what you're doing. And it feels heavy. It doesn't feel authentic. And I've read for thousands of families over the year that always come in and have their yearly reading with me, and their loved ones come in. No two readings are the same. They're just not. And again, I trust that whatever that they need to hear, Spirit knows what your person needs to hear. If you keep interjecting with, give me all of this, and this is what it needs to look like. Teresa Caputo is the best at that, in my opinion. She's the best at that. She just sits down and she'll just say, how do you identify with this? Do you make this? Does this make sense? Okay. And then she starts going in deeper. And she's just, yeah, I love the way that she channels. It's beautiful. Because a channel is what a medium is. A channel is, I am a vessel for that information to come through me to the person I'm reading for. That's it. If I start making it about me, I've brought my ego into it. If I start second guessing myself, I've brought my ego into it. Okay. And this is so important. I want you to really get this. There was a reading, and I think I shared this in the TikTok that I made, the video that I made. There was a reading that I did years ago, and probably about 15 years ago. And their loved one had been murdered, and it was high profile. They were going to court. There was a trial. It was big. It was in the news. It was big. And I'm channeling this loved one for this family, the loved one who had been murdered. And I could feel all the angst. I could feel their anger. I could feel the outrage. I could feel all of it. And at the end of that session, I was worried. I thought, oh my God, did I give them the right information? Did I give enough? Was this da 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 da? And the very next day, I had a coaching call set up with my teacher. And I shared that with her, and she said, you're making it about you. She said, you need to trust that the information that's required is going to be there. You need to trust that Spirit has got your back, that the information is there. Your job is to have a nice, clear, high vibration and show up with your heart to serve and to help and to maybe bring some peace and love. That's it. And so then she said to me, she said, so what do you know about that reading? I calmed down and I connected into my heart again. And I was like, I know that they're going to have a positive outcome. I know that the messages I gave them are beautiful. Wow. And she said, that's all you need to know. You just need to trust. It isn't about getting it 100% right. It isn't about doing it better than any other medium they've ever talked to. It isn't about, giving them mind-blowing stuff that they can't Google. It isn't about any of that. That's all ego. When you are in alignment with being in service, and if service doesn't work for you, when you are in alignment with your soul's calling, relaying information from the spirit world is so beautiful and so profound and so healing. It's so beautiful. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. So again, if you are ready, if there's any aspect of your mediumship that I can help with, I do work individually one-on-one with people. I do have digital programs that you can download. And I also have my 8-week program coming up starting April 7th. Okay. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. This is for anyone who'd like to take their mediumship to another level. So this is someone who already has a foundation with mediumship, whether it's for yourself, connecting with your own loved ones, you've already taken some classes. This is more of an advanced level. Okay. If you're wanting to read for people, if you want to incorporate more into your practice, if you'd like to start doing TikToks, whatever it is, I can help you with that. Okay. So all the info is in the show notes. And one of the most important things to remember with spirit communication is that we are so blessed to be a part of relaying those messages, because they're messages. Not only is it validating that life exists after our loved ones leave their physical body, it's also validating that love never dies. It's also validating that connection is forever. And those are what's so important about mediumship. Mediumship is a celebration of life. It truly is. Mediumship is celebrating the life that they had here in the physical. And that's what we need to stay focused on. That is what we need to stay focused on. I send you all of my love. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, anything coming up for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I send you all of my love, and I'll chat with you very soon. Bye for now.